There you go. For you and I. All right, buddy. You know you're one of my favorites. You are going to Africa for what, the third time in like this week. So you're about to do this training and cut on out. It's always great to hear your stories, Stephen. You're in Austin, and again, like I said, the support that you have given us, Volume particularly, and throughout you were just in MRI last week, right? Total hands-on, and you know the stores, you know the issues that come about with the dealers. And that's what today's conversation is all about. So with that, I'm going to turn it on over. Stephen Ricks, one of my best friends out there. Let's do this. Let's keep the Q&A open. Stephen, maybe do periodic pauses, just kind of check it there. I'm here in the background if you need me. Let's get to work, guys.
Perfect. Thank you. So for you who do not know about fiber and do not know about Cleerline, we came out of a company called Planet Waves. So some of you may have used our Planet Waves products in the past. Planet Waves is a product that was derived out of our parent company, D'Addario. We build 1.2 million guitar strings a day. We've been around 412 years, 9 generations. So we've been around a little bit. So Gary, the musician, is a huge fan of our product. Has probably spent more money on our products than just about anyone else out there. So with that, I'll get into just giving you a little rundown of the basics. So benefits to using fiber. This is one of the things that, as I talk to most guys, their first interaction with fiber always comes down to distance. The first time that they ran into needing fiber is when they had to go over 330 feet. So with fiber, that obviously is one of the big benefits that you can do. Now, data speed is one of the other aspects. So speed of light, you don't get faster than that. So being able to run between switches, between structures, not having any delays is a really, really big thing. Latency, you have one switch going in the main house, one switch in the guest house, and another switch in a pool house, a front gate, and you've got cameras on all those. No latency between them. That is a very, very big thing. And then, of course, data throughput. We talk about data throughput because if you turn on a radio anytime, all you hear is fiber is faster, fiber is better, this is great, this is the better product. And that's because you're not limited to that 10.2 gigs that you are with copper. Whether it's Cat 3, Cat 5, Cat 6, Cat 6A, Cat 7, Cat 8, that's still a 10.2 gig cable. Copper is a light pipe. We can put everything down that we need, and we don't have any struggles with what we're limited by. So, non-conductive. Let's talk about that. So the joy of fiber is when you're running, even if it's 100 feet from a front gate to a main house and lightning hits it, it's not going to travel up and fry the rest of that job. You're not going to have issues in between your buildings. You're isolating them. Now, on the exact flip side of that, for all of the dealers, when I'm talking to you guys, it's one of these where you've asked the general contractor for a 2-inch pipe, you show up on the job and there's a 1-inch pipe and it's got electrical in it. Well, here's a way that you can turn around and basically run fiber right alongside of the high voltage, no issue. And that's National Electrical Code. Fiber's glass, does not corrode, so no issues there. It's easier to terminate, and I'm going to do a live termination demo here just to show you how easy it is. Fiber is affordable. So we're at 37 cents a foot for duplex fiber. So as copper keeps creeping up, this makes it real easy as far as pricing goes. Our connectors are less than a Cat 6A connector and way easier to use. Fiber is lightweight, takes up less space. It's substantially smaller. And again, you can put a lot more down it. And then the reliability and integrity. It's the reason why every data center that processes every credit card transaction is 100% on fiber. It's not on copper. So one of the biggest things that I get into is the difference between single mode and multi-mode. Single mode and multi-mode is not to be confused with simplex single strand and duplex 2-strand. Single mode is where it takes a single path of light, and that is for long distances. Multi-mode has multiple wavelengths of light. That is for up to 1,000 feet. You can go a little bit further. We like to just keep it at 1,000 feet. Anything over, go single mode. Think sniper rifle for single mode, shotgun for multi-mode. And we'll get into a little bit more of this in a slide, a couple points down the way. So if I was to hold up to you a single piece of fiber, you cannot tell if it's single mode or multi-mode from looking at the fiber itself, because 50 microns versus 9 microns is kind of the difference between 4 times the smaller than a single strand of hair or 2 times smaller than a single strand of hair. So this is, you know, something that you're not going to see the difference of, but it's important to know 50 microns and 9 microns. This is all industry standard. Now here is going with the industry standard, something that I absolutely love. You have single mode and you have multi-mode. Single mode OS2 is going to be yellow, whether it's from us or any other manufacturer. Multi-mode is going to be aqua for OM3. So there you will run into OM4 moving forward, and that will be in violet. And so you'll start to see that colors are standards. Everybody is using these. So that is a very big deal. So what I like to tell people, use multi-mode in structure. Anytime you leave the structure, do single mode. It just keeps it easy to know where it's traveling, but it also helps when you're going between buildings. Anything over 1,000 feet, however, that's where you'll get into single mode. So difference between Cleerline SSF, which stands for stronger, safer, faster, and traditional fiber is that we're 10,000 times the bend radius. And this is where you get into the difference of what we do. Everything is industry standard, as I mentioned. When you take a single strand of traditional fiber and break it, it only has a 20-pound pull strength. We have a 225-pound pull strength, 160 pounds sustained. This is where I'm going to get into. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment. So you see me full screen and I can do something here for you. So with our fiber, I've got just a connector on here. I can actually tie our fiber in a knot and not break it. So that is one of the very, very, very important things about our fiber. I can take the fiber and I can actually do this, which anybody who's ever done traditional fiber knows this would normally break off in your hand. I can actually rip the jacket off of our fiber and still not break it. So just being able to deal with our fiber, it's much stronger and much safer. Now, when you pull our fiber, you heard me talk about the 225 pounds of pull strength. It's very important that you know that you always, always, always pull from this Kevlar. This Kevlar is what allows that strength to be there. So by doing this, you're not stretching the jacket out, because remember, we have a single piece of fiber, which is glass, inside a plastic tube. There's not a lot of resistance there. So if you just pull from the jacket, you're going to stretch that jacket out. When you trim it back to terminate, you're going to find that that fiber may not be there because it may be 6, 7, 8, 15, 20 feet back. So with that, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to use my basic termination kit. This is our little termination kit that we sell that is a whole whopping $499. It comes with my VFL, my visual fault locator, my cleaver, my Kevlar shears, my tri-hole strippers. So to do a termination, all I have to do, I slide on the barrel onto my fiber. I separate the Kevlar from the fiber. On there, and you can see a little blue soft peel, I just take my thumb and forefinger and I just remove that off. No tools necessary. I take my cleaver, I open this up, I drop it in, and I know for this connector, because in all of the literature and in with the pack of connectors, it says that this needs to be at 28. So I close this, and you can see the light still on. When I cleave it, that now has that perfect connection for me. So I take my connector, line it up, slide it in, lock it down. I get that Kevlar in there for strain relief. Trim off the Kevlar, slide on the end. That's it. That's all the easier this is to do. So this right here is a very simple connection. I can do them in about 20, 25 seconds now. I've probably done somewhere between 5 and 10,000 of these, and it's very easy. So back to PowerPoint here for a moment. So this is one of the sheets. So when Gary sends this out, this is one of the most important slides that people ask me to send to them and share. This is what I call the basic, simple system. What it allows you to do is you can basically design a fiber system if you can eat at Panda Express. It's choose one from column A, one from column B, one from column C. So with that being said, you're able to design a system by figuring out, do you need multi-mode or single mode? Is it under 1,000 feet or is it over 1,000 feet? Then you choose the type of fiber. So we make direct burial, we make micro distribution, we make duplex, all the different varieties in both single mode and multi-mode. And then at the end, do you need an SC connector or an LC connector? That's one of the things that is a very simple thing. So you need 3 parts total. And then we've got our termination kits. One of the questions that came up was, will it work with other fiber? Yes, you can use our termination kits for traditional fiber. You can use most other cleavers. If you already have a cleaver in a kit, you can use it with ours. You may need to adjust the cleaver height. All of our connectors are standardized for all of the different products. So everything is industry standard. So we sell a lot of our connectors because they're reusable and they're about half the price of everyone else's out on the market. So you heard me say before, stronger, safer, faster, the pull strength, faster to terminate. And so everything that we have is all backwards compatible. So here's the other important sheet. So we make all of these different types of fiber. So simplex, never run it, don't sell it, don't like it. You want to always have at least 2. The main reason is any of your different mechanisms where you are doing fiber switches, fiber to media converters, what have you, you're going to need 2 strands of fiber at a minimum. That duplex is our standard. That's our #1 seller, 37 cents a foot. We can do 1,000-foot boxes of that, or we can do custom cuts of any of these fibers. One of the main advantages you have buying from one of the Snap One brick and mortar locations is the fact that you're able to do any custom length. If you need 312 feet of direct burial, you need 4,567 feet of rugged micro, you can order that up. So that's one of the big advantages you have with the Snap Locals is you can buy any of our products, where Snap has a specific set of SKUs on their e-commerce site. So we go from duplex to micro distribution. Micro distribution, we go from 2 strands to 144 strands. And our 144 strand is in a 12 mil jacket, so slightly larger than an RG59. We then make breakout, which is 4 strands of fiber in an individually jacketed enclosure. Then we have our rugged micro. This is my #2 biggest seller, and we brought this out a little over 2 years ago. That is a flexible, rodent-resistant, water-blocking aramid yarn fiber designed to be run in conduit. So we make that in 2, 6, 12, and 24 strand. And that is a great product when you're doing long runs in conduit, because our corrugated ACS or our direct burial, that is a very solid product. And if you turn around and try and run that through conduit, it is not fun. The aluminum interlocking armored, that is more of an industrial parking garage, manufacturing facility type product. Tactical, that's my rental and staging product that I sell a lot in Vegas for. Fiber and power, that's an 18-2 and 2 strands of fiber. And then we do a 2 Cat 6 2 fiber bundle as well. This here is another sheet that makes it real easy for you to see all the different fibers that we make and all the different jacketing types and what all of their different attributes are, so that you can turn around and really see and figure out what it is that you may need for a job, whether it's direct burial, rodent resistant, plenum rated. So this will be something that you'll use as well. So as we talked about multi-mode and single mode, and the fact that their standards are multi-mode is aqua, single mode is yellow. This is the same with connectors. We have the LC connector, or the little connector, and the SC, which is the square connector. The LC is actually a lucent connector. I find that guys remember it better as the little connector, so I will use that terminology. So you've got blue will be a single mode connector, aqua will be a multi-mode connector. You're going to use LC connectors about 9 out of 10 times. Mainly all networking is going to be done over LC. So that's one of the areas that you're going to be able to go over. You also have, all the aspects of what Cleerline does. We do bulk fiber. We make the connectors. We have all the installation parts and pieces. We've got some pulling eyes for many of our different products. We have enclosures, our termination kits, cleaning, inspection, testing, and our active optical cables. This is one of my favorite products that we make. So something that we do there's radically different from most companies out there. We do our active optical cables. They are 8K 120. So at 8K 120, we're going to be everything you need until the end of time before we switch to 16K or we go beyond that. So where most of the companies on the market are 8K 60, we actually do the 8K 120. The other thing that we do is we do all of the video transmission over 4 lines of Cleerline fiber. And why that's important is because we're able to not have any copper in the video path. So no EMI, no RFI, and no latency. Also, if you ever run into an issue or we go beyond 8K, you can now cut off those heads on either end and terminate one of those 4 strands of fiber. So when you run that 8K 120 cable today, you're also pre-wiring for 4 fiber runs for tomorrow. So we make these from 5 meters to 40 meters. They range in cost from $148 for a 5 meter to $308 for a 40 meter. And whereas today, when you're running a 100-foot run, and maybe you're doing it over copper with a balun, running an 8K 120 cable is going to be more future-proof and more flexibility. So we love these products. We've already won, I think it's 9 awards to date, and we're up for another 3 or 4 with this. They can be pulled through a 3/4 inch conduit. They're the smallest head on the market. And we also have the pull strength and the flexibility on them. So that's one of the big aspects of running these cables. Again, we also build the rack enclosures, wall enclosures, adapter plates, and adapters. And for all of you on this call, you are the first one, since I just opened up about 20 minutes before the call. We now have an entire lineup of fiber to media converters. So technically, I guess this is the world product release for this. I got it in the mail last night from UPS. Didn't open the box till this morning. So we have all the different fiber to media converters. So I have outdoor rated ones for DIN rail with single fiber inputs here to be able to just run a single fiber over or two fibers over for Ethernet. I have a 2 SFP port. So if you're coming in single mode, going out multi-mode, I've got that. We have all the SFPs that go along with it. And we actually just finalized last night as well that we now have a PoE version that will look exactly like this, so that you'll be able to do power over Ethernet if you need with fiber. However, they do need power because can't do PoE on fiber because it's an insulator. So we have all of these. They are shipping. Though they shipped out to the different distributors today, so or last night. So they'll be in stock here in the next couple days. We've already got a lot of them sold, and we've got 10 gig and 1 gig single mode and multi-mode transceivers as well. So we've got some really cool products. The important thing here, this is my information, my email. Reach out to me with any questions you have. Gary did mention I am going MIA for the next 2.5 weeks, but I'll be back at CEDIA, and from then on out, feel free to reach out. If you have emails, send them on over. Any questions, any system design. I've got 4 people that support me, so somebody will be able to help out. I wanted to make sure that if we had any questions that I got those all answered here. We get anything else, Gary?
Let me get my image back up. We don't. Actually, David had asked a question about terminating different fiber brands, and you had answered that. I will definitely have the link on what you were showing there for everybody on the email on Friday. But you know what I just thought? You know, we got, you know, it's 9:24. Quick, let's get these guys back to their jobs. Let's see, we've got a question here. But you know what? Maybe can you do one more termination? Big, yep. Big. All right. I don't know if everybody saw it big because I took my image out of the screen, but I want it as big as possible. And do it, man. We'll count it down 30 seconds. No, it doesn't matter how long, but I think that one last image might be good before we get on out of here. But a couple questions.
Yes.
Rudy, how about pricing? I will, you know, obviously you've got access to either one of the distributors catalog, or, you know, you've got an account with us, so just go ahead and choose the SKUs. But are you talking about that new product perhaps? I don't know, maybe he was, Stephen.
No, so he is talking about like a video balun over fiber. You're looking at about $500 to $600 these days. There's about 17 different companies making them that will work over single mode. Most of them are being done over multi-mode now for HDMI because the electronics are less expensive, whereas they're more expensive on single mode. MSRPs, I'm not sure. You're looking around the $500 to $600 dealer price point on that. No issue with single mode of 100 feet. We in the commercial space all day long, guys are turning around and using single mode for everything. I think the technical issue is 8 inches for single mode, but that's the shortest and you're never going to run into that. So patch cables, there's a reason why they're all 1 meter. So you're not going to have any issues there. And yes, let's do a termination demo here. And I'm going to,
I see large screen right now. I hope everybody else as well.
So
and I did make it that way when you just started the termination, but let's just try it one more time and it'll be great. But yeah, you had another, Rudy had that pricing question. The stumbling block is the converter prices. What is the MSRP for SM entry load converter to HDMI?
So we're, that's, I had kind of mentioned it's about, you know, $500 dealer, but or $500, $600 dealer. There's a bunch of different companies out there that are doing that. So I wanted to, okay, let's see if this is in my view here. Open this up. Tell me are you seeing this in full screen now?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So we'll start over here. So start off with a piece of fiber, slide on my connector, strip back a couple inches of the jacket. Remember, we got our Kevlar in there. That's what you want to pull from. Then take my fiber, just use my thumb and forefinger to peel off the soft peel. I take my cleaver, I slide this into the cleaver, and like I said, drop that down, lights on, cleave it. I now have my good clean cut. So I have a perfect cut, but no backscatter. Take my connector, slide it on in. That light goes out, lock it down. Slide on my boot, trim that off. And away we go. Just that easy.
Nicely done.
So I see a couple guys on the call who I know how to terminate the fiber and are our customers. So hopefully you learn something new, especially about these. This is exciting because everybody needs these. And being able to run just a single network all the way down to a front gate and being able to do this saves a lot of money because you don't have to put a full switch there if you need just a single Ethernet drop. You just run one of these down there. These are, sub $100 with SFP. And so now you're able to turn around and really accomplish something a lot easier. So, and these are a hardened, good quality piece. So I'm looking forward to, I think we've already sold 111 of them and we just shipped them yesterday.
Awesome.
So
awesome. All right. We're looking forward to those getting into the SKUs and I'll get the links out there on the email on Friday. All right. John Skagg, is there a problem with single mode runs of only a few hundred feet?
Nope. No issues there. So we're down, we can go down, as I mentioned, down to, 1 meter on up. So you're all fine on that.
Larry Patron, missed the PoE over fiber. Is it possible if you have a 6-strand multi-mode with that converter?
So 2 questions on that. We make a 6-strand multi-mode. We make that in 5 different configurations. You only need, if you're doing a fiber to media converter, you only need 2 strands for your SFP. So you can do a 6-strand, terminate 2, and then be able to utilize one of these. In our initial launch, we did not have a PoE available. We now have that coming out in 5 weeks. I already got the part numbers and the pricing on that. So since I've got you on here, it is going to be a $149 dealer for one of these PoE. So that's going to be something that you'll be able to utilize here in the near future. So we've got that coming in. It's got a power supply that's with it, and that's going to be able to do PoE. So you're good on that, and that'll be either 100 base T, 1 gig or 10 gig, depending on the SFP that you put inside there.
Got it. All right, we're clear of questions unless anybody has anything else. Greg just hit us really quick. Hi there. For residential applications, would you suggest running 2 duplex multi-mode fibers from Dmarc to structured box and then to each bedroom, TV, internet location, etc.? Understand that question?
I do.
Okay.
So you want to run from the rack location, just a single duplex to each TV locations. Your Dmarc location, and this is where that was actually a good question to pop up. I am going to bring up one other SKU that I throw in to my next presentation for you guys. We make a product that is a Dmarc fiber. all of your different service providers use a single strand. Let me share this. Get back. There we go. Share screen. So this fiber here that you're seeing, this is our Dmarc fiber. This is one strand of SSF fiber and one strand of traditional fiber. You can run this from the Dmarc to your rack location. What that does is that when AT&T, Spectrum, Time Warner, Charter, Verizon comes along, and if they're going to terminate it, they'll know exactly what to do with that fiber. If you're going to terminate it, here in Texas, we're finding that a lot of the service providers just can't get out there fast enough. And so a lot of the integrators are able to terminate it, and then they can send the customer the equipment, they plug it in, and away they go. So with this is a 30 cent a foot little single mode. Again, one strand of traditional, one strand of SSF fiber. And this is our hybrid Dmarc cable. So this is something that most guys are keeping a box of at the shop when you're doing a Dmarc job, running this out to the location. So this is something that definitely you want to be working with now.
Great info. I'll take that PDF as well if you want me to get it out to the guys.
Yeah.
All right, about 9:30. Anything else? Let's see what we got. David, how would I finish the Dmarc cable?
So if you were going to be doing it, you will be using what is referred to as an APC connector, angled polish connectors. That's a green connector. And they normally use an SC connector in most markets. I've seen one or two oddball rural areas that uses an LC, but for the most part. And you would just put a single SC APC connector. What that is doing is RF distribution over fiber. So when fiber is coming in, it is replacing your coax that has been used forever for all of our networking. This is where the fiber is being done. And so it's replacing that coax to be able to provide greater bandwidth.
Nice. Hope that answers David's question. Great job there. All right. Anybody else for standing by? David, thank you very much. All right, guys. Well, Stephen, fantastic. You know what? I'm going to ask you back in another 4 hours from now? We're going to do this again. You guys, if you want any of your team members to join us a little bit later on today, that is 2 p.m. West Coast, a little bit of our twilight version. Stephen will probably have a cocktail for the next round, but we'll be starting up in a few more hours. Have your team register, and let's continue to train. Let me see really quick here, another Q&A. That's good. Thanks. Everybody's just saying thanks. And, of course. All right, everybody. I'll get the video out to everybody. Friday morning, look in your inboxes. That's when this whole thing will be emailed to you from marketing or from myself at Snap One Locals. That's about it. Great stuff, Stephen. I know I'm going to get you back out in the stores. Probably when you get back, bring us back some kind of jungle hat or something like that. So just to prove that you are truly the jungle explorer that we know you are. No, but thank you very much for your kind attention and for leading our dealers into the right direction, for sure. You really are the champion of this. That's about it from all of us at Snap One partner stores. I am Gary, of course, and hit us back a little bit later on today if you want to join up again. Next week, I've got Luxel on the hot seat, for instance. We've got some new mesh products that we're talking about there. Register each and every Wednesday for the weekly webinar series. I'm Gary for AllNet, Custom CPD, Volutone, and MRI from all of us, only here at Snap One. Each and every week, we bring you the best of the best. And Stephen, you are certainly one of them. All right, guys, we'll catch you next week.
Appreciate
Thanks, guys.
Bye.